Hello, everyone. It's nice to be back on the OpenSSF YouTube channel after a long time. This one's going to be very quick, very brief, but very interesting. So, we're on the cusp of Open Source Summit Korea, which makes it a very interesting time because there's the inaugural OpenSSF Community Day happening there as well. And just to do a little bit of promotion, dare I say marketing, what I thought was invite one of the more meaningful and very vocal, one of the nicest people I've met in the Korean community. Everybody say hello to Hoon. I think a lot of people already know Hoon. Hi,
Uh,
Hoon. Thank you so much for being here.
yeah, nice to meet you, all of them. Even there's I think it is somebody to hear that. Anyhow, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're all looking forward to being in Korea. Tell us a little bit about yourself, though, and if you could introduce yourself to the audience very quickly.
Sure, you're very shortly because we don't have time. My name is Hoon, and the last name is Jo. Yeah, yeah, last name is Joe. Yeah. And there's my job role is the cloud native. Actually, the engineer, but you know that recently the AI is really pop up, so I posted AI native plus and I'm working at the Megazone, and I'm just managing the Kubernetes and these data. As I said, at this some AI native working or some MCP or the other thing is it those kinds of things I'm gonna be this my working place.
Nice. And can you give us a little bit of information about what you do in terms of open source? Are you a contributor, maintainer?
Sure, yeah. I'm the mainly this. I'm the user for the Kubernetes and the other some ecosystem, and some partially this I'm contributed for the Kubernetes and also some lately this I'm a little bit this not contribution level, but I'm gonna be talking to delivery for the Kubernetes. So I'm gonna be this one of the talking session for the Kubernetes account. That's one of the first some core some event at the KubeCons and Cloud Native Con. So, and I'm not yet for the maintaining this any kinds of the project, but yeah, hopefully some days later. But currently, this I just want to read it. I just do that as the usual level and plus that the contributions level. Yep.
Nice. So, Open Source Summit is coming to Korea this year. I'm sure you're going to be there. What is it that you're really looking forward to at Open Source Summit?
Yeah, probably this most of people very eager or very looking forward to the see that the Linus session. Yeah, probably this Linus is one of the pop stars, and also Ha Jong Woo he's one of the celebrity in the Koreas too. So I cannot wait for the his session too, and there's a really lots of the good session for the some OSS summit in Korea and Seoul. So it is one of the first time. So there is really lots of the good session. I cannot be described as any specific because it's most of no. All of them is really interesting. So I cannot pick it up to just one or two. But yeah, Rhinus is very important and Hajo too. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
Linus was always a big draw. I remember the first time I saw
Yeah.
him speak. I got to stand really close to him when he was speaking to someone else. I just shook hands with him once, and it was great. I'll always remember that. So, just to educate the audience, so to say, there's an Open SSF Community Day happening as well. So for those who are not familiar, Open SSF is Open Source Security Foundation. So it's a part of the Linux Foundation, and we host a lot of the security related projects around open source, and we have a significant overlap between what work the CNCF does, the work that a lot of other Linux Foundation projects do. And because we're the stewards of security, there is always a lot of interest. And so there is an Open SSF Community Day happening in Korea as well. So hopefully you'll be able to make it, be there.
Yeah.
It's co-located with the Open Source Summit. It's a free add-on to the registration, so it's the inaugural thing. So we wanted as many people to take advantage. So, but I have to ask you, as a open source user,
Yeah.
how much does security really bother you?
Yeah, probably this. The most of people already know that the security is one of the really major part in this year or last year, probably in the future, because you already seen that there's some happening for the log4j issue people. And this year's I remember that npm repository the issue. The open sources, you may know that there's a really lots of there's some component is related to they are using or they're already they mingle to that there's some there's a source and then there are framework and then make it together. But we don't have some security insight because something is a really white box, but we cannot be get into the security part. So those kinds of the perspective, security is really, really important for the open source perspective. And plus, these days, AI errors. So we are using for the MCP through the npm. So I already described to the npm issue is a pop up, and npm is the we make it as some MCPs. We sorry, we when you are making it this MCP server, we are using the npm the command, but the npm is one of the some hidden side or some we don't see that there's some we don't care about this some repository. But if it is somebody or some hacker to that there's something it is injected as some something unknown the code, we don't know that that's the reason why there's some security part these days. AI, even though the AI era, so it is very important, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, the OpenSSF incidentally was started just before the Log4j thing. I think during Log4j, it just became so popular
Yeah.
on its own and sort of self-marketed, so to say. I mean, I shouldn't be talking about it as if it was a good thing, but in terms of correlation, that was the time that a lot of awareness was built around what the OpenSSF was doing. And like you say, it's the AI era is next, and there's a lot we need to do in terms of securing these new AI components that especially build on top of all of the open source stuff that we've been using and we've been making use of all these years.
Yeah.
So a lot of very critical work is going on. But if there's anything that you'd like to say for those who are attending Open Source Korea, any message you have for attendees, first time attendees especially?
Yeah, first time is yes, that's special. Yeah, yeah. I already said that I mean that the OSS summit in Korea is just one of the first time, and also some this this these sessions SS or Open SSS Summit is also this same time. This is first time in Korea. And also securities, as I said, it is very important in Korea. Maybe there's somebody in the Korea that Korean that he or she know about this. Some there are telecom the issue, and then the other some major some security issue is in here. It means that the security is one of the really important in Korea's market too. So I hopefully there's many kinds of relative person or some stakeholder join to that there's some open SSS summit in Korea and then visited to the here and then some there is really lots of the some more really interesting the topic and the session and coming together and then discuss about it or some we can build it some little bit some at the table and then talk about that and then make it something interesting output or something it is some exciting to the topic after all. So I'm hopefully this can come to some next week is OpenSSF Summit and then join it together. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks so much for that, Hoon.
Yeah. I'm gonna be able to join together. Yeah.
Yes, we really look forward to having you at the event.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people from the Korean community and the international community, of course. It's going to be my first time in Korea. So if you have some advice about, local things to do, I'm all ears. But, see you in Seoul on November 4th and 5th. And I really look forward to discussing open source security, AI, all of that fun stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you so much, Hoon, for joining us today, but also being such an important patron of open source in the Korean geography. You do so much for the community there. I really love interacting with ambassadors like yourself, and it makes me very excited to see you in person, interact with you at home for a change.
Sure, yes. I cannot be waiting, but I can wait it just 1 week.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Yeah, have a